starting? Okay.
Cool.
So your general thoughts on the Iowa caucus then?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it probably to the people watching, the coin flips was some of the more frustrating things, especially for the Democratic viewers. I guess it kind of showed a lot of like weaknesses in the current caucus system, and I think those hadn't come out before because they'd never been that close. From everything I heard, it's the closest it's ever been. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, certainly if you get down to flipping coins, then it's probably not a very democratic process. So, yeah, it's that certainly was there, and yeah, I mean, I guess people. Like the Iowa caucus always being first, like people always overhype it a little bit. So yeah, I mean it was a big deal too, on the news and everything. But I think the story of the day was how well the non-establishment candidates did. People like Bernie Sanders and Rubio did actually very well, but the two non-establishment candidates, came in first and second. So
Yeah.
I think that was probably the biggest stories.
So how about the importance of how Donald Trump actually got beat and who came out on top?
Yeah, so I guess notably the Iowa caucus is like pretty bad at like the polls and such ahead of time are pretty bad at predicting the actual winner. So while a lot of people were really surprised by it because he was polling at first, I remember in the last election Santorum won and he was predicted to come in sixth, I think it was, prior to that. So and he came in first. So it was I guess everybody says it's surprising because he was polling so well, but in reality, and for the Iowa caucus system, the polls mean very little. So I guess Iowa's actually like a fairly, I think a lot of people think of Iowa as like corn people, like out in the middle of nowhere, but it's actually like a very highly educated state, kind of out of nowhere. So it doesn't super surprise me that he lost there. I think he's going to have more appeal in some of the states that are less educated. I mean, I think poll-wise he does extremely well with non-college educated people. So I think he's going to do well in states like Oklahoma and Kansas and Texas and places like that.
How about how do you think the polls varied very much from like the Democratic side of things? Because actually they were really close.
They were already saying it was going to be too close to call, and I mean I think the biggest issue is that the caucus system makes it almost impossible because it's not a traditional polling system.
Yeah.
Whereas the Republicans, it's just a percentage vote, right? So you'd think the polls would be able to predict things a little bit better. But yeah, I mean they predicted it was going to be neck and neck, and it was neck and neck. So I guess that wasn't a super shocker. But yeah, I guess going into some of the other states, the polling will probably be more accurate because their primary systems are a little less weird. So I mean, it seems that Bernie Sanders has a tremendous lead. And
who are you going for?
I'm a Bernie Sanders.
Yes. Yeah. Bernie.
I would guess most of the people around here probably are.
Definitely. What do you think about when it comes to Michigan? Where do you think Michigan will vote?
So prior to the entire Flint water crisis, I think it would have been very hard to predict. I think we're probably going to be going left